imposter syndrome at the height of her fame. Rachel Stevens is right here, telling why she's lifting the lid on life in the spotlight. My next guest first found fame, of course, in S Club 7. That was back in 1999. Now Rachel Stevens is sharing everything about her life in the spotlight. It's a new book. It's called Finding My Voice, and she joins me now. It's so good to see you.
Oh, it's so
I
good
love
to
the
see
title, Rachel, because
Thank
I remember
you.
interviewing you way back in the late 90s and early 80s and early 200s. You were always the quiet one.
Yeah.
You're always the wee quiet one, and I understand now why you were, because you sort of felt, I'm not sure if I should be here.
Yeah, I just found it really... well, there was a lot of us, and I kind of... Yeah, I was... I always used to find the interview process really nerve-wracking,
Sure.
and I was... Not so much when there was all 7 of us, I kind of could hide away a little bit, but, yeah, I always felt very, like, exposed, like, almost like I was going to say something wrong, like, very in my head, and I had so much to say, but I just couldn't access it all or articulate it.
And you were anxious.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
I've always suffered with anxiety ever since I was young.
Gosh.
And I think it was... Yeah, I've realised as I've sort of gotten older through therapy, through questioning, I've always been so passionate about self-development and self-growth and always been so curious as to why I found it so hard to connect with people and open up and just allow myself to be vulnerable. And so, yeah, I feel very lucky that I've always had that curiosity.
Sure.
And always believed in therapy and talking.
Yeah,
ironically,
you were
because I've
away.
always found that so difficult.
I know, but you were way ahead of your time in that sense, and it does feel like you have found your voice now, which is great.
It couldn't have had any other title.
No,
that,
it's
really,
perfect.
You know?
But back then, of course, you were the one that didn't have the experience that the others had, because they were all singers, dancers, they all had that grounding, and you didn't. And there was always that thing of, oh, you're the pretty one. There's that a wee bit. Which, indeed, you are. You're gorgeous.
Well, thank you. I mean, I talk about it in my book, how I did grow up with that feeling of looks were so important. And, you know, it is a thread through our lives, isn't it? You know, everyone sees the sort of... We show all our best bits and we've got the filters and all of that. But, yeah, I grew up feeling that, a sense of that was what was most important. And the foundations inside, like, being asked my opinions on things. You know, it was a generational thing as well. But, yeah, I didn't feel like I was very seen or very heard. And I kind of... That became my sort of armour.
No, I
my
can understand that. But the thing about it was, and I remember it even at the time, thinking the sort of pressure that the 7 of you were under, because it wasn't just a band. You had a TV show. You were a brand, actually. I mean, I know we're going to talk about Brand Bacon later, but you were a brand, and like I said, the pressure on you was intense. And for somebody who's quite anxious, that's even harder to deal with, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really interesting dynamic, actually, being in a pop group, especially at that time, because we were very protected. Everything was done for us. We were all over the place. And, yeah, like you said, like, all the bands worked hard.
Yes.
But because we had that TV element, it was another added layer to... We were just 100 miles an hour all the time. Yeah. And there wasn't much time to just... sit. And it's hard anyway in life, isn't it? To just sit in the moment and go, look what I did. That
a lot of what you say in here, I had no idea. Like, I didn't know, you know, you'd been mugged, you were caught up in a shooting, just an innocent bystander.
That was a crazy few weeks.
That was horrible. And no wonder, you know, you were diagnosed with PTSD. No wonder. But what you've overcome is remarkable. You should be really proud of yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. No, you know, I've always believed that whatever we go through in life, and we all have a story to tell, it's learning through it. And
congratulations.
Thank you.
It's always good to see you. And I love that you and Adam have got almost the same outfit on. I love that.
We're going to start a band.
They were taking photos